And now, Noemi, VALENTÍNY. Hello. It's okay. It's gonna be perfect. Tell me, it's the story, the screenplay, the music, and the sound edition, the sound, design is done by somebody else.
Yes, that's true.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's working normally.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody. It's interesting that somebody is doing the screenplay and the sound, and not directing it. How did you work together?
Yeah, we work together because the person is also my boyfriend, so we are like really in touch, and we are basically working on a lot of things together. When I'm developing scripts, also to other films, he's also helping me. He's really good in dramaturgy thinking, which is good. So, and also there's the good thing about this is also that he's really that the sound is being. We think about the sound from the very beginning, which is really important, I think.
Because in the film, it's really part of the.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if narration, but the universe. It's really so important.
Yes, that's true.
So you worked. I mean, saying that okay, that's what I want, and it's really kind of a co-direction. I mean, you do the film.
True. Yeah.
The story could be
like I'm trying to have the the last word, but because it's my responsibility after all. But yeah, it's like that.
When I look at the film, I could think of an adaptation of a tale at the beginning. It's not. It's a completely new story.
Yeah, that's true.
But did you have inspiration, or did you have inspiration in tales and things like that?
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm really interested in this stuff, so I read a lot of native stories, native legends. Also, like the design of the whole film was inspired by one illustrator, one Czech illustrator, who did great illustrations to Greenland's myths and legends. Martin Velíšek.
Okay.
It's really.
So you pick things in that kind of illustration books and.
Yeah, it was really because his style really suits the nature of those stories, because they are really rough, raw, and really, it's not like common fairy tales that everything happens good and so on. There are bad things happening. It's
a quite a long film. For a student film, normally we have like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you have time in school to do that? Did you do that in 1 year?
Yeah, I did it in 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my 3rd year of bachelor's when I was working just completely on this film. But I had the first half of the year I spent by developing the story, because the original script was slightly different. It was set in more like current time, like in that 19th century fairy tale universe, like the oldest, not oldest, but earliest, the Grimm tales and so on, like this century. So I pushed it more into the history, more into this indigenous tribe.
But we don't know exactly when it's happening, no?
Yeah, of course, but there are some indications. Like, for example, the way of life the characters are doing. It's not. You can clearly tell it's not some kind of developed civilization or something, right?
There is a kind of mystery, because we don't really know how they got these children. It's a kind of a malediction or something like that, but we don't really know.
Yeah.
You wanted not to have this mystery playing on the film, yeah? Mystery on the film.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I think that, this is one of the things that I'm more glad when people are thinking on their own about it a little bit, because it's very interesting to hear like people's interpretations and so on. I think it's quite common that everybody can see the film differently than you, for example, meant to. But it's not bad in a way, right? Because they are like, it's living its own life a little bit.
Do you have strange interpretation? People coming to you and say, "Oh, I know that's what you want to say," and it's like, wow, surprising for you?
Yeah. One guy told me that he clearly sees that that the kid was kind of. He sees like the complicated relationship between the child and the parent, like when the child misbehaves, like when we are, like some people are really crazy through puberty or something, and still the parents are taking care of them, and this is what I was like, oh, okay, why not? Maybe.
You're coming from Thomas Bata University.
Yes.
Is it again? It's a university with fine arts and things like that, or only animation?
No, there's not just only animation. Actually, the university is very widely. There are different faculties. We have the faculty of multimedia communication, where there is animation, audiovisual department, also like fashion design and so on. But also there are different faculties, like faculty of technology and humanitarian, something like, yeah, a lot of things.
Animation is a big department, or is a small one in the?
Oh, it's like a small one, yeah. I think we are really small. There are like 10 people in the class each year, so it's really not too big.
It's a small one.
But there is a family atmosphere, and it's important.
Now you finished the
Yes.
university.
Yeah, and I'm continuing at my master's.
Okay. So the master's will be another film also,
Yes,
or
yes.
thesis?
Yeah, we are currently working on it now,
Okay.
because I'm supposed to finish next year. So now it's the pre-production is already happening.
Same kind of universe, or you changing?
No, it's completely different because I'm like co-directing it with my schoolmate, and he's doing different kind of things, and we just trying to find something out. And I also thought about trying to make a story for children where nobody dies, which is challenging, but yeah. And so now we are just trying to make a children movie, short animated film.
That's good, but you know there is a feature film now in competition in Annecy where it's talking about death, and it's also a feature film for children.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So I guess you can have
Yeah, of
people
course.
dying.
I don't mean like death is something that children shouldn't be aware of, but that clearly the Reverend Mother is not for children. I think that maybe for the older ones that want to, because children want to appear older than they are. So.
But that's good because a lot of students don't really, do children film. It's not a good way of making films. A lot of them want to do personal thing, and it's good to have, film for children.
Yeah, that's what
also.
I did in this one. Like it was clearly my personal thing that I wanted to do, just clearly what I wanted, because I was like, oh, maybe I won't have chance in the future to do that, but yeah. But now I want to try something different. So.
Okay, well, hope to see you next year, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
2 years with this film.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
will see.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.